warm word of welcome to you as we are in Westbourne House in Ennis in County Clare, which is in the Diocese of Killaloe. We're now about to enter the St. John Henry Newman room. For the past 30 years or so, I've had a huge interest in and devotion to St. John Henry Newman, and what a delight it was to be at his canonisation in autumn of last year. During the challenging times that we live in, it may be the case that you might have a little bit of extra time on your hands to be able to read and reflect. And what better thing could you be doing than reflecting on the lives of the saints? And my firm recommendation is to reflect on St. John Henry Newman. And you could do worse than go on the Veritas website, and there you will find some very interesting publications on John Henry Newman. And if I could recommend a number of them to you to be able to explore some of the great story of his conversion from being an Anglican to being a Catholic, some of his ideas on the development of doctrine, some of his great works on literature, some of his great poetry, some of the great hymn traditions that he left us in our faith, his ideas on conscience, his ideas on faith, his ideas on the involvement of the laity in the church, and many other ideas that formed so much of what we are as church in the 20th and 21st century. If I could recommend for a starter for you a simple little publication by the great scholar on John Henry Newman, which is a man called Ian Kerr, a very simple pamphlet called John Henry Newman, His Life and His Legacy. 60-page little booklet which gives the basics, the bare bones of his life. And then a little bit slightly more detailed than that simple pamphlet is a work that I had the privilege of putting together myself, and Veritas published it last year. It's called A Perfect Peace, Newman, Saint for Our Time. A little small, gentle reflection on the background of the man himself, a number of his quotations, a number of his ideas put together in a resource form with a fairly detailed bibliography at the end. And if you want something much more detailed, then you could go to the work of the Jesuit scholar Dermot Mansfield. A number of years ago, Veritas published this work called Heart Speaks to Heart, the story of Blessed John Henry Newman. So some little works for you to enter into the spirit of the wonderful Saint John Henry Newman that he is. And I wish you well as you explore some of the great treasures of what he has to offer us and to our faith.